So I'm super excited today. Alfred spent some time out of his busy day to meet me, award-winning investor, to show me around a couple of these projects. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at a project he's just picked the keys up to, and we're going to look at a project which he is near on completion. So, Alfred, do you want to introduce yourself to anybody that don't know you, and just a little brief, who you are, how you got started in property?
Yeah. So my name's Alfred Jade. I'm based in the West Midlands. I invest in Coventry. Literally got into property because I wanted to earn more money, essentially. The ultimate thing was, I've always wanted to build wealth young, and the vehicle which I was in, which is the corporate world, was working as a project manager. The earning potential for that was capped to like 150 grand a year, and I was like, I'm not here to earn 150 grand in 10 years time. I want to earn 150 grand as soon as possible. So I said, okay, let's explore other vehicles, and property was a vehicle that I chose to go into. And for me, I was big on obviously getting educated and not just going in blindly as well. So,
important.
For me, that was key. And now, mainly all I do is focus on HMOs. The project I'm about to show you now isn't a HMO, unfortunately, but the other one is a HMO. This is an office I purchased, which I'm going to be converting into 4 flats. So 2 2-bedroom flats and 2 1-bedroom flats. Currently going through planning, which I believe we're going to get, because neighbouring properties are all flats as well.
So a big theme that I want to really sort of touch on today as well is, like, it's going from that start-up stage. So how old are you, Alfred? You don't mind me asking? 29. Okay, so really, really young for where you're at already. But it's been nice to take the audience through where you start, how you kind of get started, and how you progress to deals like this. Like, so what was your first deals? What did they look like? Yeah,
they're all so funny enough, they're all HMOs. I'm going to buy to lets. All my properties are all HMOs. They've all been through like heavy renovations, and the reason why I had the confidence to go in and start HMO, because in courses and stuff, you're kind of told, do you buy to let's get immersed in the world of property investment before. But I kind of did the opposite. I literally worked for a house. I was just a retiring landlord. He was looking to exit the market, and I basically bought the property off him, and then converted that to 6-bedroom HMO. But again, that was like an extensive refurb. We had a loft conversion, a rear extension, back to brick. But I was confident because the key for me is, I'm not the one technically doing the work. It's the construction company I'm using is the ones doing the work. So are they qualified? Have they done HMO several times over? Even from a lender's perspective, they ask the question, oh, what's your experience of converting such a project? Obviously, I have none. But what you're leveraging is the building guys, their construction ability to be able to convert properties from a residential house to a HMO of that size, and just documenting that to the lenders to get that over the line. So if your team can do it, that's all you need. As one little caveat here is, obviously you still need to kind of be in the know. But you don't need to. I think we've got a lot of people kind of wanting to know every little detail before they make a move. I'm like, you're never gonna know. Like, even now, we still get things that we get told, oh, we need to do this instead, or things are changing. So I think the bit is, you need to know enough to be able to move forward. And for me, that was, I know I want to convert to HMOs. Okay, who are the best people in the area who convert to HMOs? And I want to work with them, and then they're going to come in and help me convert this property. But obviously, ultimately, I'm still accountable for the property. If they do something wrong that doesn't support HMO regs, I need to be in the know enough to kind of be able to make that informed decision. Say, okay, we need to do this, and do have this fire alarm panel in here for this number of people, have this many amenity space, because builders will just build whatever you tell them to build.
Absolutely. Did you get that right the first time around?
I had so cheat code, get networking in your local areas. Start building relationships with other investors. Even just coming to the whole HMO principle, how to convert a HMO. When I was first starting, it's very hard in courses to kind of understand, how do you buy a building like this and get to know floor plans. Floor plan in itself is like it's a whole thing. I've seen so many floor plans. I don't even need to look at a property in person. I can go for a floor plan and that's enough for me, because I know I'm coming in and gutting it out anyway. So I have no interest in even seeing the building, if I'm honest. More about the floor plan, the space it provides, what's the opportunity to be able to extend. That's what I'm looking for. So a lot of like mean investors taking their projects, like, this is a house, how have you converted this 2-bedroom to a 5-bedroom house? How have you converted this 3-bedroom house into a 6-bedroom HMO? Understanding that from a floor plan basis. So what did the building look like prior to it being converted, and what does it look like on the back end? How are they creatively using the space to be able to create these rooms? So that's what I was learning. And that's enough for me to kind of, say, once I understood, and now when I'm going on viewings, I'm looking for similar type building, which I'm literally replicating what they've done. And I didn't reinvent the wheel or anything like that. I didn't do anything creative. I literally just did what other people have done in the area, and just leveraged their expertise, network. So it was agents, builders, whatever,
One of the things that I've always found the biggest challenging though is the actual build element of them.
I've been fortunate. So I had to actually tell a lie. So I had the first project was a different build team. So when I first bought, so obviously I didn't learn this, but I was kind of going with it and working out as I was going along. Obviously, when you buy a property, people think, I'm going to buy a property and get a builder tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. You have to speak to builders in advance.
Yeah.
Builders are booked. The good builders, anyways, they're usually booked out for depending on what time of the year, but they're usually booked in advance. So I didn't know this and kind of thought, I'm going to buy this building, I'm going to do the work, so I have the plans, architecture drawings, everything's ready. Finding a builder should be easy. But everyone's like, all the ones are saying not available, we can't start till next year. I ended up getting a build team. We're in Coventry. I ended up getting a build team from Birmingham.
Right.
They were short on projects at the time. I knew they'd done other projects for other investors who I knew personally as well. So I was kind of, okay, if they're good for if it's good for them, then it's good for me as well. So I used them on the first project. And obviously, them being from Birmingham, they had the following projects back in Birmingham again. So it's becoming a nuisance for them to be traveling back and forth. So we ended up saying, look, long term, this isn't going to work because obviously you guys are based in Birmingham. Ideally, I want someone based in Coventry. Easier for them because I know builders, if they've got my project, the random one in Coventry, they've got several in Birmingham. Yep. Chances are they're going to stop coming or not be as frequent or not have many guys on site here. Yeah. I just know how it works. So like moving forward, it wasn't going to be a plan. Again, going back to networking, and my agent actually at the time, the one I selected for that property, he actually introduced me to my build team. So that's how I kind of...
Estate agent or a letting agent?
Letting agent.
Yeah, letting agents are great forms of people to...
Because they work with other landlords, they've seen other builders, all the builders in the area potentially, so they know who to go to and what landlords are using for their projects. And if it's good for other landlords, again, obviously, I take that with a pinch of salt. If someone gives you a recommendation, that's all good, that's kind of a shortcut, but then it's you going, because your taste and my taste can be completely different.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you want to go on site and check that what your perception of this is good, works, whatever, it's still the same for me as well. So for me, it's like recommendation is one step closer to getting a good team, but then go and validate that for your own self and make sure you're happy with the standard of works that they're doing.
Exactly that. Look, if you go into this room now and said to two builders, like want grey carpets, white walls, one would interpret that as in, okay, we'll just paint over this wall, no. We'll put thin carpets down. One would interpret it as we need to plaster the walls, we need to sand the skirting down to wood. And you just got to get that specification right, otherwise you just...
Specification on the subject of that is a big thing. Again, people perceive, so when people ask a question on like Instagram or YouTube, whatever, how much does it cost to renovate a house to a 6-bedroom HM? I'm like, it depends what you're doing. I don't know, are you looking to put gold taps in that everywhere?
Absolutely,
the type of doors, the fire... So fire doors is not, saying that you want fire doors is not good enough. There's different types of panel type design, fire doors. So if your builder's quoting just, I want fire doors across all the rooms, blah, blah, they can put the cheapest door in there.
Yeah.
And obviously they're still quoting for whatever they quoted. So I think specification of works is so important. Literally detailing what type of rads, what type of door handles, what type of door frame you want. Skirtings, again, there's just cheap ones, there's more expensive ones. So obviously you don't have to go like and specify every little detail, but the point is getting an understanding from day one what your expectation is. If you're the one that's wanting something special, different to the average, then obviously you need to clearly state that and get them to sign. So like for example, with my build team, we signed the contract, we signed the specification of works, and then we signed the schedule of works as well. And if you're that person and you're working with builders generally, they get very pissed off very quickly with demands. I want you moving this, move that. Actually, no, I don't like that. No, it doesn't look good. I thought it looked good, but I didn't. You're just asking to be charged extra. Like if I'm a builder and I've done the work and you come in and you told me something different, I'm charging £2,000 to do that job. And if you want to argue about it, I'll just end the project here.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, they're in so demand at the moment as well, aren't they, builders? It's like the leverage is on their side, and if you become too picky, too pedantic with them, they think, look, there's easier money.
Easier money out there. I don't need to deal in this. I've got so much like opportunity available to me. They're not, like I said, they're not restricted, so they can just literally walk off site and walk onto another site. In
my head, this is how I process it. I think to myself, is it going to affect the rent I'm going to get? Is it going to affect the valuation? Take us through this one anyway. Let's.
So with this, like I said, I acquired this as offices, going through planning at the moment to get this permission to get flats. But architects actually phoned me a week ago saying we should be getting actually early approval. So process for planning, obviously, once you submit the application, there's a stage where they review the document and it gets validated. That's the open-end bit, nobody really knows, but it can be as quick as 2 weeks, 4 weeks in Coventry Council. Then there's an 8-week period of where they should be able to give you a decision on what the planning application was for. Coventry have been on time. Most of my applications have been bang on. And maybe there's an element of, I don't just leave it to my architect. So I chase my architects on like, speak to planner. Any objections, anything we satisfy. If you leave it, because some people just submit a plan application, don't say a single word to the planner. I'm like, well, don't be surprised when you get a rejection. Like, you haven't spoken to them, you haven't communicated. So for example, this property, we submitted it. Once the consultation period is done, it tells you when the consultation period is done. I'm like, get in there quickly. What's the objection? If there is any objections, let's try and satisfy it.
Yeah.
Because obviously if there's objections, that gives them right to refuse their application. So if you haven't amended the drawings to reflect the objections that they've raised to now satisfy it, then obviously you've lost opportunity, and then now you have to go back to start the whole process again. But anyways, so this building, planning to convert into 2 2-bedroom flats and 2 1-bedroom flats. So all these chimney breasts and stuff and all these old stuff that you see at the moment, I hate chimney breasts. These Victorian houses have these huge, like, you'd be surprised when this comes out and you have a flat surface. Another reason why I like flat surfaces is because I can then lay out the furnishing in the room a lot better.
So you're going to furnish this as well? These are going to be flats?
Yeah, they'll be flats. So probably I think I will probably furnish it. Yeah. I don't think I would let them. We'll see. We'll get to the end and we'll see. I'll speak to the agent, get his guidance on that. But I'm likely to furnish it, I think.
So you're going to let these as single lets or service accommodation?
So this is the great beauty of investing in the right location. So this is like, station's literally across the road. Ramada Hotel's next to us. So like, I could choose. I think the plan in my head at the moment is 2 of them will secure the mortgage. So long-term rentals. So I think the 1-beds I'll probably use as long-term rentals. And that will pretty much cover the mortgage.
Steady income, yeah.
And then the other 2 rooms, like, make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
So the plan will probably be, the service accommodation, the other 2 rooms, the other 2 flats, the 2 2-bedroom flats, and just maximize the profit on this building. So I want to make this a cash cow.
Yeah.
Because of location, everything works well. So this is all going to be one flat. Obviously, this, a bit of, if you come around the other side as well, it's like a little maze. But I don't know what to call them, rooms, offices. You can see some little BT stuff, internet stuff in there still. But all of this section, I think pretty much up to here, will be flat number 1.
Okay.
So all this, all of it, and then you be surprised. So there's all this dead space. There's like a sink here, a little bathroom there. There's another room at the back here. If you come through, there's another room again at the back. So all of this will be smashed out. All these walls that you're seeing, obviously, will support the walls if they're structural walls, and then create this into the second flat. Behind this building, there'll be a double-story extension happening as well.
Right. So
there's going to be more space. So I believe that one's the 1-bed. This back one here will be 2-bed, and then soon when we get upstairs, the front one will be another 1-bed, and then the rear one will be the second 2-bed flat. But yeah, we can head upstairs and then quickly.
So take us through the process. When you imagine you're walking into this property for the first time, what is your process? Like, was this one of the ones you just looked at the floor plan and went, do you know what? I know the floor plan, what I'm doing, or did you?
No, to be fair, this is more of a kind of a shortcut, cheated one, because I'm not one to try and complicate things.
Yeah.
This deal, there's a little story behind it. I had an opportunity to buy this property a year ago. Lost out to another guy who I think I offered 340. They offered 360 at the time, I think. So the owner decided to go with that person.
Obviously, yeah.
One random day, I'm sat in my living room. Literally, I saw an email coming. I was like, oh yeah, right move. So literally, I flick in, click. I was like, I know this property. What's going on? So the thing was, it was with a different agent. So I called my other agents that I bought from before who was previously marketing it and said, look, Andy, what's going on? I've seen it come back in the market. He goes, yeah, the owner got to be upset with the person buying it. So obviously I started doing my research. Went on the planning portal, see what's been submitted. And I saw that they were trying to apply for 5 flats. And I could see they were probably going to get a rejection because it was too much. There was too much they were trying to do in too little space as well. I said, okay, Andy, look, speak to the owner. I started a buyer that was interested before, still interested if he wants to sell to me. So he called him, literally within 2 hours, we got the sale memorandum sent over to my solicitors. By chance, came back to me, which shows the power of following up. Because if I didn't follow up, someone else would have got this.
Absolutely.
And I was literally within 24 hours, obviously I'd secured it, not even 24 hours, 2 hours of me seeing the thing, it had been secured. I didn't even have the money available, I just got the deal secured basically. So the bit I had to figure out was, okay, what can we get planning for? So the planning was still active, so I called the architect to look, what's going on with this building? He goes, yeah, the person who was looking at doing this is obviously pulling out. They're not buying no more. So we had the plans, but it's going to get rejected because it's too big. So I said, you know what, rather than, so this property, I've gone with a different architect, and only because the architect who was previously doing this, I said, you know what, seeing as you already got a relationship with the planner, know what they want, let's just keep it the same, work with
Makes
you.
sense.
And let's revise the previous drawings that you had, or the previous plans that you had, to create plans that we know are going to get accepted. And that's what we did. And now it looks like we're about to get approval in the next week or two.
So did you get it for the same price as you initially was bidding on it?
So I told him 340 at the time.
Yep.
The valuer came out, valued it at 325.
Oh, wow.
So then had to then renegotiate again. And this is a tricky I said to him, look, 325, obviously I told you 340 I'd buy it regardless, but the reality is it's 25 grand. There's a difference.
Yeah, 15.
So then we met in the middle. 332,500 is a weird purchase number, but that's the number I bought it for in the end. So I paid him 7.5 grand more than what the market value was at the time. But the way I see it is there's enough uplift, it's a great opportunity, great location. My agent's excited. My agent actually manages next door. So he's excited, like, great location, mate. Well done on you securing this one. So yes, I paid 7.5 grand more, but I'm big on, there's a whole messaging around, buy below market value, buy below, and I'm like, no, don't buy below market value, buy a fair price. I guess you can buy below market if you get the opportunity to buy some more. I'm not saying don't buy if you get handed the opportunity to buy below market value. I think my point is, if you're new beginner starting out, try and look at the value add you can add to a property. That's what actually determines what you can pay for the property in the first place.
Yeah.
So if there's enough uplift which allows you to pay a fair price, even above asking price, basically in a way taking away your profits, which gets you into the deal, that's what you need to do, in my opinion. Yeah. Because there's enough room, you've got enough margin within the deal to be able to say, okay, you know what, I can give another 5 grand and have a 10 grand if it means I can knock out the rest of competition out of the water. Look for the uplift, whether it's through extensions, lock conversions, whatever. And obviously the end value, if that supports you being able to pay market value, then that gets you in the deal. Because people searching for below market value, I'm like, you might spend a year trying to find this magic.
Yeah, absolutely. And the opportunity cost.
That and also money out. I'm like, great if you can find money out, but like, I'm not waiting 2 years to get the perfect deal, which is below market value, all my money back out. For me, I'm in this game for a long term. I'm looking at this as a long horizon as opposed to I'm just making money today. But yeah, so this house as well, there's weird stuff going on. There's different levels. So there's a basement level which we haven't been into, but there's a basement level, ground floor. This is the first floor, but it's got this stepped up. Let's just walk around, you see what I mean in a sec. There's a little, obviously even here, there's another step down. It's all weird, but we'll correct all of that, make it all one level. And then you've got this other elevated bit again. So I don't know if you call this your second floor or it's still ground. I think in my opinion, it's still one floor. So the idea is all of this front section here will all be a flat. So even including that down bit at the bottom as well. And then the bit behind where we're in a minute ago will be the 2-bedroom flat. And I think my architect did something creative where he's got the stairs. So in that room, there'll be stairs leading into the room above. And I think he's made 1 bedroom up there and then one on that floor.
Okay,
so
yep.
I'm excited, man. Like I've never converted flats, but in my mind, builders they've done flats. They actually build next door. Obviously, different thing with flats, soundproofing. Yeah. So on HMOs, we don't have necessarily got to do soundproofing, but it's a legal requirement as part of a self-contained unit to have soundproofing. But obviously, a tip: big ticket items, which sometimes you can avoid and can't avoid or negotiate on, is windows. Yeah. With these Victorian homes, these windows are outdated. Like this house all has wooden frame windows. I have changed every single one to PVC because again, I'm in it for the long term. I don't want to say I want to leave it as it is now and then change in 10 years time. Like that's a disturbance in itself. Just put a PVC in now.
Big windows as well, don't they?
They're big. Right? I know the bill on this is probably like $6,000 to probably replace every single window, probably even more, to replace every single window in this house, unfortunately. But when the valuer comes in and says the property's worth X amount on the back end, I know what I'm in it for now. I know what I'm buying it for, I know what I'm spending, and I know what's going to be end valuation.
Should you get that red book at the start to see what the end? Yeah.
So every project, probably except for my first one, I've always had a red book valuation.
And you get an independent to do that?
No. So again, there's no point in doing two because the bank is going to
just go and find the bank you want to lend with.
Find the bank you want to use, and then get them to obviously come out. And again, I don't just work with any valuer. I actually tell the lender what person in the firm I want to work with. I don't just tell them, oh yeah, pick this person from, no. I am paying the 2-3 grand. It's my money. Yeah, the bank, your survey, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you who I want to come and survey the property.
Yeah.
And again, this is through me networking to understand who the good who the good valuers or people that provide good valuations are through the network I have. And that's what again allows me to be able to say, okay, I want to work with this guy, and therefore I use that guy. And the other trick is on the back end, I get the same guy. Yeah. Marcus homework. No point. I always say valuers, you're literally paying for an opinion. One guy can tell you like the house is worth 500 grand, another one can tell you it's worth 550. So I want to go with the person who's going to give me the best valuation. And if he's giving me the number I want, I'm happy we've done the conversion. Why the hell would I go and pick somebody else?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a little trick. So I'm playing chess is the way I see it.
So age-old question: what's first, deal or the money? You know, loads of people talk about find the deals, money will come. Like, is there truth in that? Like,
for me, like, it has to be the money. Money first, deal second. But for me, in reality, I've never had the money ready. I wish I could buy, like, before I buy a property, have 200 grand sat there just waiting to be used. That's never been the case for me. I've always had a deal when I'm going to raise the money. So it's much more painful. You're much more motivated, I guess, as well. But for me, it's like, I would prefer to have the money first and then go get a deal. Because I just feel like if I have the money, I'll be able to find a deal.
What about for a newbie though? Because I think that's relevant for you at the moment where you're at, I guess. So if you were starting up from day one, did you do that?
But the pressures, I would be like, because you can't. Yeah, people say the money comes, and money will come if the deal is good. Yes, I do actually honestly believe that. But there's a certain level of pressure required. Some people are not even bold enough. Some people are scared to put an offer in if they haven't got the money in the bank account.
Yeah.
All my deals, there's been no money in the bank account. Maybe some money, some sort of money, but not enough to be able to buy the property. Basically, is the point I'm trying to make. But I'm confident. We're gonna buy it cash even. Don't worry. I'm trying to get the deal. And for me, I'm in the game to eliminate all my competition. So the way I'm able to do that is by getting the deal in my hands. So if I need to say cash purchase, whatever I need to say, we can move quickly. I'm saying those things. Once I'm in the deal, everyone's gone. Even if it takes longer than I said. Like this deal, I said 2 months. I think it took us 5 months to buy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. Like, because once you're in it, you're deep. It's very rare they're gonna say we're gonna pull out.
Yeah.
If they're gonna pull out in the first week or two, then yeah, that's fine. But generally speaking, once you're deep in, they're not gonna pull out. So you can lever it. But for me, get the cash in the bank account. I know from a Lumi point of view, I still actually honestly still say get the money in the account. But yeah, there's pretty much there's one more little room up the stairs, and that's pretty much it in terms of the building. But like I said, it's gonna be like a double story, so we can quickly pop in there. It's a weird layout, but I don't even know. This is not a legal room. Like the head height is not enough.
Yeah.
It's too low. You need about 2.7, 2.8 meters to have the right head height. But like I said, we're doing a double ray extension, and then all these floors will kind of relay them out and match them up based on the drawings architects has created. But it's an exciting project for sure. Can't wait to see it come to fruition. A lot to do. Big. We're probably going to spend somewhere between, obviously, I think 150, 160
on the renovation.
On the renovation, yeah. It's a lot of money. But I bought it for so the numbers at the moment, 332,500 to buy, 150, 160 on the renovation. Refinance, the guy said 575. I was pushing for 600. So I'm still confident I'll get 600 on the back end. I'm going to get him to come back when we're done. Just to see, and then maybe push it up a bit more. So I'm confident I'll be able to persuade him, and hopefully the market's in favour as well. Who knows? But as it is now, it's still a profitable deal for me to do. I think it's kind of a low ROI that I would normally like. I think about 30% ROI on the deal, so about 3 year return. It's still good. So yeah. And yeah, generally speaking, I'm trying to push a 40% upwards with the deals I do, but only because I'm trying to recycle the capital I've borrowed from investors as quickly as possible, and be able to pay it back as well. So the longer I'm in the deal, obviously the longer I'm going to be owing money to investors. So that's why I'm like trying to get in and out as quickly as possible. as you maintain the cash flow from the business and stuff.
So I'm hoping you're enjoying the value you're getting from Alfred in this video as much as I enjoyed doing this video, and the value I got from it's got tons of tips and tricks from this. The video though was so long and so packed with value, it was too long to create one video. Then we had to toy with cutting loads out, but there was too much value in there to cut stuff out, so we've broken this down into 2 separate videos. So this is part 1. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified, because part 2 is going to be coming out. And if you didn't hit the like button already, please hit that like button. But remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you'll never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms, and have an amazing day.